See, no, it's tough because I really like Kylian Mbappé. I really do. But the same conversations we're having about Real Madrid right now, we were having about PSG last season. Same conversations we're having about PSG right now, we were having about Real Madrid last season. About how complete they are as a team, how good they look, and all the glowing attributes we had about Real Madrid last season, we now have about PSG, about how balanced this team is, how they're working for the manager. Unfortunately, the one common thread through it,
Common denominator.
it was Kylian Mbappé. And now we're having these conversations, and again, I really love Kylian Mbappé, but I just couldn't help but think about that. And now look at how PSG have become a team in his absence under the same manager.
Last season, Real Madrid won both La Liga and the Champions League. When one of the best players in the world joins such a successful team, it's only natural to expect an even stronger Madrid the following year. Some fans predicted another Champions League victory. Others believed that Barcelona would no longer be a real rival, and the league title was already secured. On paper, the team looked unstoppable. They already had the Ballon d'Or second and third place finishers and added a World Cup winning forward, one of the best of his generation. Luka Modric was still there, widely considered one of the greatest midfielders of all time. In defense, there was Rudiger. Valverde brought incredible versatility to the midfield, and they had also signed several promising young talents. On the bench sat the most successful manager in Champions League history. Yet this season, they were knocked out of the Champions League, lost every El Clasico, were beaten in both the Copa del Rey and Spanish Super Cup finals, and now they'd need a miracle to win La Liga. So how is it possible that a star-studded team like Real Madrid failed to live up to expectations? For those familiar with Real Madrid's history, this situation isn't new. Supporters already lived through something similar between 2000 and 2006, when the club first tried to build a team filled with global superstars, but success didn't follow. Florentino Perez, a brilliant businessman, won the club presidency multiple times by promising to bring in the biggest football stars on the planet. From a marketing perspective, this was genius, but on the pitch, not always the wisest move. In 2000, Figo arrived from rivals Barcelona, followed by Zidane from Juventus a year later. Two world-class signings in 2 years, still sustainable, and the results were there. But Perez wanted more. He signed Ronaldo, and the next year, David Beckham. The issue? Real already had a world-class right winger, Figo. Beckham's arrival was more of a commercial move than a tactical one. Both players preferred the same role, so Figo had to shift to the left or move centrally, while Beckham was played as a central midfielder, which wasn't his natural position. They disrupted a system that had been working. Worse still, Beckham's signing meant Claude Makelele, one of the world's best defensive midfielders, had to leave as the club couldn't afford his wages anymore. From that point, despite all the star power, Madrid went 3 seasons without a single trophy. It became a disappointing era, huge names, high costs, very little success, and now history seems to be repeating itself. Kylian Mbappé, one of the best players in the world, arrived. While his unveiling mirrored Cristiano Ronaldo's and looked spectacular, the sporting logic behind the signing was questionable. 2 key players, Benzema and Kroos, had left. Instead of replacing them, Madrid signed Mbappé, creating a trio of natural left-wingers. On paper, they may line up differently, but in reality, they all drift left. That completely disrupted the team's balance, and without balance, any system eventually collapses, no matter how talented the individuals. Mbappé currently leads La Liga in goals, so it's hard to argue he's having a poor season. But his individual brilliance seems to come at the expense of the team's cohesion. His arrival also transformed the way Real Madrid and Jude Bellingham play. Last season, Bellingham and Vinicius had incredible chemistry. No wonder both ended up on the Ballon d'Or podium. But now, Bellingham has to take on more responsibility, both in defense and attack, while the forwards simply walk around. According to stats, 36-year-old Lewandowski has covered more distance per Champions League match than any Madrid forward this season.
Bellingham trying to make the run, trying to make the team play, running in behind, that's him again trying to break the line. That's your 9. That's your 10. Again, who's going to make the run in behind? Who's going to try to go? It's him. It's Bellingham going, not your number 9. Again, who's making the box? Him again. And I think there is a little frustration. And this one for me is actually, look at him. Look at your 9. You can't win games like that. You can't win games with your 10 breaking the line, coming back, trying to bend his run, trying to defend, trying to go on the other side. Yeah, I will be upset also. Of course I will be upset.
But the even bigger issue is in midfield, the absence of Toni Kroos. For years, Kroos and Modric controlled the tempo, dictated play, and launched counters. That kind of control is now completely gone. Valverde, Camavinga, and Bellingham are excellent players, but they're not tempo setters. And Modric, at 39, can't be expected to perform at his former level. Arda Güler could be a solution, but he's still young and hasn't earned Ancelotti's trust. Speaking of Ancelotti, while he's undoubtedly a world-class manager and the most decorated in Champions League history, he's never been known for strict tactical systems. He believes in giving freedom to his players and building around their strengths and instincts. But that philosophy doesn't seem to work in this current situation, especially with so many stars and positional conflicts. Instead of harmony, it's creating chaos. Another sign of the disorganization is the penalty situation. Instead of having one designated taker, the team rotates between Vinicius, Mbappé, and Bellingham. No one wants to step aside, and those moments only further fracture team unity. On the pitch, signs of frustration are becoming more frequent, players arguing with each other, even with staff members. And yet, there's still hope. If Real Madrid makes smart moves this summer, find the missing pieces, and their key players return from injury, they could once again become a dominant force next season. What's more, with Carlo Ancelotti set to depart and Xabi Alonso increasingly likely to replace him, the club may finally get the strong, tactically astute leader they need to bring order to the chaos and steer the team back on track. What do you think went wrong with Madrid this season, and is Xabi Alonso the right man to fix it? Let us know in the comments.